Hey there. So, today we're going to get into something we've all seen, right? A super clean house. But we're not talking about cleaning hacks. Nope. We are diving into the deep psychology of why some people need everything to be perfectly in its place. I mean, we all know that person, don't we? Their home looks like it's straight out of a magazine, 24/7. And you think, wow, that is some serious discipline. But what psychology tells us is that there's usually a way more interesting story happening just under the surface. So let's get into it. All right, first up, let's talk about how cleaning our physical outer world is really an attempt to manage our inner world. This is all about control and getting some mental clarity. Okay, so the first big reason is a pretty simple human craving for control. I mean, think about it. Life can be chaotic, right? So much feels unpredictable and messy, and in a world where you can't control much, your home, well, that's one of the few places you actually can. And you can really see that contrast right here. On one side, you've got life, unpredictable, messy, uncertain. But on the other, a clean space gives you the perfect antidote to all that chaos. It provides a feeling of control, stability, and honestly, just a way to feel grounded when everything else is spinning. So, building on that idea of control, let's look at the direct connection between your physical space and your mental space. Because it's not just about managing the outside world, it's about decluttering your own mind. And this is not just a vague feeling, it's actual psychology. Every single piece of clutter, you can think of it as a little bit of visual noise. You know, that pile of mail, the clothes on the chair, dishes in the sink, they all send these tiny signals to your brain about tasks you haven't finished yet. It actually overstimulates your brain and amps up your stress levels. A clean space just silences all that noise. Okay, now let's go one layer deeper. We've talked about controlling the outer world to get some clarity. Now let's see how cleaning can actually soothe our inner world, our emotions, and even our very sense of who we are. Right, so here's the thing. A messy room creates this constant, low-level stress that you might not even be aware of. It's like this background hum of tension, a visual to-do list that never goes away. So the act of cleaning, it gives you this immediate hit of relief and a sense of completion. You are literally removing a source of stress from your environment. But it goes way beyond just feeling calm. For a lot of people, this is deeply personal. A clean space is like a physical representation of their standards, of their identity. You can think of it as an act of self-respect. It's a way of saying, without words, I matter and I deserve a peaceful, organized place to live. And this leads right into our next point. Cleaning can become this incredibly powerful way to cope with things. When your emotions feel huge and overwhelming or just too complicated to even think about, doing a simple physical task can be a total lifeline. It gives you an outlet when you feel like you don't know what else to do. And this breaks it down perfectly. It all starts when you're feeling those big, messy emotions. So what do? You start a simple, productive task, scrubbing a countertop, folding laundry, whatever. The repetitive motion of these tasks has been shown to actually calm your nervous system. By the end, you haven't just cleaned something, you've helped yourself find a little bit of emotional balance again. Okay, for our final piece of the puzzle, let's look at the brain's blueprint. What's actually happening on a biological level that makes this habit stick for some people more than others? Well, for starters, it's partly about just seeing things differently. Some people are just naturally more wired for detail. Their brains are lightning fast at spotting things that are out of place. So for them, a crumb on the counter isn't just a crumb. It's like a little alarm going off on their mental radar that's just really hard to ignore. So they fix it, almost on autopilot. And here it is, the final and maybe most important piece, the achievement reward loop. This is the secret sauce that makes cleaning feel so satisfying. It turns a chore into a habit that actually reinforces itself, and it all comes down to brain chemistry. The key player here is a little chemical called dopamine. Now, a lot of people call it the feel-good chemical, but it's really more like the molecule of motivation. Your brain releases a little bit of it when you complete a task, and that gives you that sense of accomplishment and makes you want to do that thing again. This quote from the research just nails it. Unlike some huge project at work that takes forever, cleaning gives you instant gratification. You see a dirty sink, you scrub it, and boom, it's clean. That immediate, visible progress gives you that little dopamine hit, that satisfying feeling of done. And that feeling is what keeps the habit going. So, when you put it all together, keeping a clean house is almost never just about being clean. It's a really complex psychological act that's meeting a whole bunch of different needs. Let's just tie it all together real quick.
So, yeah, a clean house is really a window into the mind. It's a tool for getting control when life feels out of control. It's a path to mental clarity. It's a powerful mechanism for coping with difficult emotions. And on top of all that, it can be a deep act of self respect, all of it powered by a little chemical reward loop in our own brain.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last question to think about. This isn't about judging a messy space or a clean one. It's about understanding the why behind it. So take a look around you right now. What does your space say about your mind?